All right, this is Home Attack, and somebody has been begging for my attention. This is regarding a video on a conspiracy theory about Chris Benoit, the wrestler, the late Chris Benoit. Now, this guy wants to come to my channel and troll my channel and claim that I'm some 40-year-old virgin living in my mother's basement. And this is based on me disagreeing about a conspiracy theory on Chris Benoit. So clearly, he is a hardcore WWE wrestling fan. That already says a lot about him as it is. So coming from him, that really doesn't mean much. You look older than 40. You look too old to be watching WWE. Okay, I have not been a hardcore. I'm not a hardcore WWE fan as an adult. That's for one thing. There's motherfuckers past the age of 12 that stopped watching that shit. So if anybody, you're the 40-year-old living in his mother's basement, bro. Now, for those of you who think I'm just some gamer, now, those of you who watch my channel know that I'm not some big ass gaming channel who sits around eating Cheetos and pizza, some virgin in his mother's basement. Y'all watched my Tekken video explaining my first time experiences with every Tekken game that I played. All 10 games. And by the time I got to Tekken 6, I started talking about adulthood shit, jobs, women, having a problem with substance abuse. Now, I'm trying not to be harsh on this poor guy. A lot of old motherfuckers are stupid. Now, my father, unfortunately, is a hardcore wrestling fan, and he's 60. Now, but I'm not going to get up here and bash my father. I outgrew, just like every other millennial, I basically outgrew my parents, outside of financially, because millennials, we don't come from a good economy, so where we can just get some measly ass fucking minimum wage job and still be able to fucking buy a fucking house. So, and live in some big mansion for 99 cents. Because that's how they grew up. They grew up easy. And when they act like they had it hard. The only thing these motherfuckers faced was Jim Crow. So, besides that, let's get to the point here. The point is, this guy wants to come to my comment section on one of my Philly videos, me showing Philadelphia, showing the streets of Kensington, but want to claim that he grew up rough. But I'm showing the city that I grew up in. He doesn't realize that Philadelphia is one of the toughest cities in America, bro. It's worse than New York City, bro. I showed, in that video, I showed Kensington. Kensington is in that video. Do you know what Kensington is? Look it up. So this is a hardcore wrestling fan claiming that my channel is boring, but all he has is this 18-second clip talking about some random fucking murder nobody gives a rat's ass about. Let's hear it. Let's watch this entertaining video of his.
And so, this is why it's important to think about what you're going to do before you do it. Let's not forget.
He just realized that at his old age. Hold on, hold on. I don't mean to cut him off. I'm gonna let him speak in a minute. This is pretty much every boomer. This is why you think about what you're supposed to do. Giving you basic knowledge. See, y'all old motherfuckers raise these motherfucking stupid kids that don't grow up to learn how to know better. I'm actually a rare breed. I had to teach myself as an adult. Parents taught me the basic, but what are parents going to do? Tell you don't do drugs. They're not going to tell you why drugs are bad for you. They're just going to tell you, oh, be a good little Christian boy. And then I was just talking about Kensington, right? Well, a lot of those people in Kensington that get high, shoot up fentanyl and all that heroin, that video that you call boring, look at Kensington and Allegheny. Look at all those people in the corner. Okay, here's Kensington and Allegheny. The video he was commenting under. Now you see on the left hand side, also on the right hand side, but you can't see it from this angle. Those people all sitting there, all up in that row, those are all drug addicts. Those are all junkies. They're shooting up heroin, bro. Now, I don't live in that part of the city, but I live in that city. To me, this is normal. People shooting up outside in front of cops, in front of everybody. Cops do nothing about it. This Skid Row neighborhood, I'm used to this. This is nothing to me. I can go down there right now and go get me some 20-some-year-old chick that look good and fuck the shit out of her, bro. And think nothing of it. Go back home and forget about it 5 minutes later. Because I've done it before. But anyhow, look at that. Those are all junkies. Some of them have tents out there. Those people on that corner that's getting high, they all come from wealthy, good families. These are white people, mostly white people that come from good families. You want to know how they ended up like that? That could have been me. That could have been me. Because I came from a family, nobody got high. They were just, quote unquote, all Christians. Father, he's a fucking wrestling fan and a Christian. That's his whole life. Mom, she has some infidelity issues, but once again, she's a believer in Christ. She couldn't tell me nothing about adulthood. Just like my father couldn't teach me anything about actual adulthood other than working for the white man. He couldn't teach me any real people skills. You know, he was going to shelter me into being a wrestling fan like him. So when I went out into the real world, what the fuck was I going to know? What was I going to know about actual people in the real world who were more than who weren't wrestling fans? I would have ended up like this too. That's how they ended up like that. They rebelled against their parents. They wanted to face the real world, which their parents were not showing them the real world. So they went out to the real world and got around a bad group of people who did drugs, and they wanted to experiment, and this is how they ended up. From people, they turned out like this because they were raised by people like you who are dumb, retarded ass wrestling fans who believe in stupid ass conspiracy theories because you don't want to believe that your favorite wrestler could do something evil or fucked up or they don't have any mental illness. Okay, Kevin Sullivan was divorced from Nancy 12 years before he quote unquote killed Benoit and his family. And Benoit was the last one in that fucking house, like Paul Heyman said. Now, I'm sorry I had to scoop down to this level for those of y'all who rather see me talk about Tekken or something rather than call out somebody online, but these people need to realize that not everybody who has a console is some fucking loser. I had to teach this guy, I gotta teach this old man something. Because people like him, who are fucking autistic hardcore wrestling fans, people like him, people like my father are the reason why children turn out fucked up and on drugs. That's their way of having fun. Because their parents were sticks in the mud who didn't teach them the real world. Now, hopefully y'all learned something today. Y'all learned. And the only thing I can really tell y'all is to learn on your own. Because your parents ain't going to teach you everything. Your parents ain't going to teach you about women. As a boy. Not really. They're going to tell you to wear a condom. That's about it. They're not going to teach you about having a family. They're going to act like they never had sex before. But that's how you came into this world. So, yeah. These are boomer parents. Black parents. So hopefully y'all got something out of this video. People like the pops that's trolling my comment section create this. Rebellious early 20-year-olds and kids like this who end up doing hardcore drugs on the corner. that came from wealthy families. These people in the corner, they're not from Philly. These are drug addicts that came to Kensington to get high. They're not even from this city. I know. I've hooked up with some of these young chicks out here. They told me they came from wealthy families. They came from good neighborhoods. That's how I know all this shit. So yeah, you young people watching this, don't mind the cussing. But the point is, if y'all have kids when they look, try to be realistic with your children. Don't tell them to be a good boy and go to church. Teach them how reality, teach them real world shit. Prepare them for what they're going to have to deal with once they're adults, or by the time they're adults, or even in high school. Teach them about girls or boys if you have a daughter. Don't be having your child 15, 20, 18, 20 years old, and all you can talk to them about is fucking wrestling or fucking Michael Jackson or the Bible. Okay? Teach them about shit that all adults have to face. Don't be like that wrestling fan. Don't be like him. But then somebody's playing video games and that makes him a 40-year-old virgin, but he's a hardcore wrestling fan. Dude, do you realize that the majority audience of WWE fans are 5-year-old Indian kids and autistic adults? Do you not realize that? This is why I grew apart from my father as I got older. I can't connect with him anymore. He's too childish for me. Much like the guy trolling my channel. So yeah, peace out.